What's up and welcome back to my channel, E Smells Good. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 fragrance recommendations for the season of fall. Now, this is a video that honestly I've really been dragging my feet on, and a big part of that is because it's still kind of hot where I am. I'm still getting temperatures up into the high 70s and the low 80s, and it really just does not feel like fall where I live. But in an effort to try to get into that fall spirit, I'm starting to watch more spooky movies and horror movies. I'm starting to eating more pumpkin flavored stuff. So I'm trying to get into that fall spirit. And part of that, I think, is going to include me going ahead and getting my top 10 fall fragrance list out. Now, of course, this list is not the end all be all of fall fragrances. There are a ton of amazing fragrances out there that are perfect for this season that you will not see on this list. So if there's anything that I don't mention, go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know what fragrances you are looking forward to wearing this fall. These are just going to be a few that I'm really looking forward to wearing, and I definitely plan to trickle out a few more fall theme lists as the season progresses. Before we get started though, if you enjoy this kind of content, if you enjoy my channel, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date on everything that I post from here going forward. Now, we're not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to reach back and grab fragrances at random. But the first one is going to be from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and it is The One, Eau de Parfum. Now, this is one that, in my opinion, is almost synonymous with the season of fall for me. There's notes of tobacco. You get this really nice ambery accord in there as well. Overall, it smells like a very grown and mature, sexy smelling fragrance. This is one that I typically reach for date nights and date nights only. It is my girlfriend's favorite fragrance in my entire collection. And for that reason, I kind of reserve wearing this one for those special occasions. I definitely think that there are a lot of other scenarios where you could wear this fragrance though. I think this will be a perfect going out fragrance, maybe to a dinner. I think you could easily pull this one off in a suit if you need to wear something a little more dressed up. It does have that overall kind of a mature vibe to it, even though it doesn't smell like old man. Overall, if you enjoy that kind of a warm, woody, ambery kind of a fragrance, this is definitely one that I would highly recommend you check out. Once again, from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, this one is The One, Eau de Parfum. Next up on the list is going to be from the house of Banana Republic, and it is Dark Cherry and Amber. This one is actually a very recent addition to my collection, but I have found that I have worn this fragrance almost every evening when I get home from work. I take a shower. This is almost always the fragrance that I spray on, and I think part of that is that I'm really looking forward to the weather cooling down and being able to wear this one out even more. This one is cherries, some florals, some praline, and a really beautiful amber accord as well. Now, this one does lean a bit feminine and it is very sweet, so this one is not going to be for everyone, but if you enjoy it, this is definitely one that I would highly recommend getting your nose on. And a big bonus of this one is that you can usually find it at a very affordable price tag. I picked this one up for $19.99. This is another one that for me, I think is going to be reserved for date nights, that kind of an occasion. I do think that there are probably other scenarios that you may want to reach for this one if you enjoy it, but for me, I typically like to wear this style of a fragrance in those types of occasions. Once again, from the house of Banana Republic, we have Dark Cherry and Amber. Next up is going to be one from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, and it is Y Le Parfum. Now, this is not the new 2025 iteration. This is the previous formulation. And what this is a very grown up version of the original Y. So think of that, but add a little more depth, a little more woodiness, a little stronger of kind of like an ambery tone to it. Overall, in my opinion, this is the best Y fragrance for the fall and winter. Now, the reason this one made the list is because it's kind of a do-it-all fragrance. This is one that I could wear to work, I could wear it casually, I could wear it on a date. It's really just a very versatile fragrance for the fall, and I feel like you always need that versatile go-to Swiss Army knife style of a fragrance. I have gotten a chance to smell the new 2025 formulation of it, and if I'm being quite honest, I really do prefer this one to that. So if you are able to get your hands on this original formulation of it, I highly recommend that you do so before these bottles run out. Once again, from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, we have Y Le Parfum. This is going to be the one in the dark black bottle. Next up on the list is going to be one from the, I don't know if you call it a house, but it's from Bath & Body Works, and it is Coffee and Whiskey. This is a very, very beautiful fragrance from Bath and Body Works. And honestly, I'm not even sure if they still have this one or if it's one of those fragrances that they kind of cycle in and out of season, but this is one of the best, in my opinion, that they have ever made. You get a very, very prominent coffee note in the top of this one. You also get that surrounded by some sweetness, and you don't necessarily get a specific whiskey accord, but you do get that kind of a warm and sweet undertone that you get with a lot of boozy scents. Now this one is one that I just love so much that I find reasons to wear this one. I've worn it to work on a couple occasions. I wear it to just run errands. I wear it just lounging around the house. This is one that I really just enjoy that much, and I just always find a reason to reach for it. This is also a really good fragrance, in my opinion, to layer with, and maybe I'll do a couple videos on ways to layer fragrances, but this is one that I find is really easy to layer other fragrances with in the fall and winter when I want to add that kind of a warm and sweet coffee style to the scent. Definitely one that I plan to reach for pretty heavily this fall. As you can see, there is a little bit of a dent going on. I got this for Christmas last year, and I already have put quite a dent in it just in that small period of time that I was able to wear this one. Once again, from Bath and Body Works, this one is Coffee and Whiskey. Next up is going to be from the house of Latafa, and it is Assad Bourbon. This is one that I picked up last winter and I quickly fell in love with it. Similar to the coffee and whiskey fragrance that I mentioned before, this was one that I just found any excuse that I could to wear it. You get some plum in this one. There's also some aromatic notes. There's some cacao and also some bourbon vanilla. Although the name is bourbon, you don't actually get any sort of a boozy scent to this one at all. Overall, what you get with this one is a bit of a fresh and fruity scent up top that has a really nice, sweet, vanillic backbone. Now, I would say that the main way that I would wear this one is probably casually. This is one that I'd probably reach for a lot for date nights or just evenings out, or maybe even just to run errands, but it is an extremely beautiful smelling scent. And you can also get this one at a very affordable price tag. I can typically find this one usually around that like $30 to $35. And if you can find it below that, I say absolutely grab it because that's a steal. It's sweet, it's playful, it's extremely fun to wear. Definitely one that I will be reaching for a ton this fall. Once again, from the house of Latafa, this one is Assad Bourbon. Our next one on the list is going to be from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier, and it is Le Male Elixir, the one in the gold bottle with the visible red stripes. If it's the solid gold one, that is the Elixir Absolute. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the main notes that you're getting out of this one are lavender, honey, and tobacco. A big part of the reason that this one made the list is that I'm just really excited to get to wear this one. I picked this one up towards the end of last winter, and I really just did not get a lot of opportunities to wear it. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I wore the fragrance. So honestly, I'm just super excited that the weather is finally getting cold enough again for me to really reach for this one. So far, from what I've seen, I get good performance with it. It smells amazing. People around me do enjoy it. This one was an absolute hype monster when it first came out, and quite frankly, I think it still has a lot of hype and a lot of popularity. I still see it on a lot of people's list, and I even hear people talking about it when I'm out and about. The other day I was at the gym and I overheard some young guys talking about how good this one smelled. It's warm, it's sweet, it still has somewhat of a slight freshness to it though at the same time. Definitely one that I think I would probably wear more so for casual outings and date nights, but similar to some other fragrances on the list, I enjoy the smell of it so much that I think I'll just find any excuse I can this fall to reach for this one. Once again, from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier, this one is Le Male Elixir. Next up on the list is from the house of Ferragamo, and it is Uomo. This is one that I just recently did a video on, but it is not new to my collection. I actually had this fragrance a few years ago in a 50 ml bottle, ran through that, completely demolished that bottle, and I went a long period of time without having it in the collection. Finally decided to add it back, and you can bet I am going to wear this a ton now that it is back in my collection. Now, this one is a gourmand fragrance. You get a bit of like a tiramisu smell, but it's also fairly fresh and airy at the same time. Because of that airiness to the fragrance, I find that this one is very suitable for me, at least for daily wear. And honestly, I think that's exactly how I plan to wear this one. This is probably going to be somewhat of a dumb reach fragrance for me this fall. I know in the past when I had it, I wore this fragrance to class, I wore it to the mall, I wore it to go see movies, I wore it for just about anything that you could think of. Tiramisu is one of my favorite desserts of all time, so you definitely can bet that if there's a fragrance out there like this one that smells like tiramisu, I'm going to love that fragrance. As you can tell on this list, my taste in fragrances definitely leans towards the sweeter side when it comes to fall. And this one is no different. This is definitely a very sweet fragrance, but thankfully, like I said, that airiness just gives it a little more versatility and makes it a little easier to wear on a day-to-day basis. Once again, from the house of Ferragamo, we have Uomo. Next up, we have one from the house of French Avenue, and it is Liquid Brun. This is their take on the Altair DNA. You get a very beautiful orange blossom note up top. There's also some vanilla and some ambroxan in this one. This is another one that, in my opinion, you really could use for daily wear, even though it does kind of fall on that sweeter side. This is one that I picked up last winter and I ended up wearing it extremely heavily. And I definitely think that it's going to be one of my most worn fragrances once again for the fall and winter this year. There's just something about that freshness from that orange blossom playing with the sweet vanilla and that ambroxan coming behind all of it that just really makes this a very, very beautiful scent. Fresh, spicy, sweet, and extremely easy to wear compliment magnet of a fragrance. Definitely one that I'm going to be reaching for a ton this fall. Once again, from the house of French Avenue, this one is Liquid Brun. Our next one on the list is going to be from the house of Pineapple Vintage, and it is Vanilla Intense. Now what this one is, this is essentially the same scent profile as Creed Aventus, but with a very amped up vanilla accord. And the reason that this one made the list is kind of similar to that YSL Y Le Parfum. This is a bit on the fresher side, and that makes it a lot easier for me to wear this to work. I can wear this for just about any occasion. It is a very versatile, easy to reach for fragrance. But thanks to that added vanilla, it just gives this one a little bit more depth, and it makes it a little easier for me to reach for it in the fall and winter. Now, the way that I'm probably going to wear this the most is to work. This is a very easy fragrance for me to reach for to go to work. It has the freshness that I typically look for in a work scent, but it is also a very highly complimented fragrance. I know that it's not going to offend anyone around me, and I'm going to feel great wearing it. So if you enjoy Creed Aventus, you enjoy that style of a fragrance, and you like the idea of having that amped up vanilla note, go ahead and check out Vanilla Intense from Pineapple Vintage. Now, our last one on the list is one of my favorite fragrances for the season of fall of all time, and this one is Layton from Parfums de Marly. This one is apple, some cardamom, some vanilla. Overall, it is an extremely beautiful fragrance. You do get that kind of a fresh spiciness in there, but you also get a slight sweet undertone from that vanilla. It is extremely easy to wear. This is one that I feel like you could wear to work. I feel like you could wear it casually. You could probably even wear it on a date night. Now, back when I was in college, I had the Alexandria version of this, which I think was called Royal Equestrian, and I wore that almost as a signature scent in the fall. Now, I will admit I don't reach for this one nearly that much, and really the only reason is the price. This is a pretty pricey fragrance. It is a niche fragrance, so I typically only reach for this on certain days where maybe I'm going out and it's a really special night, or I'm just in a very specific mood to wear it. But it is one of my favorite fall fragrances of all time. There's just something about this one where when I spray it on, I really do feel like I am at my best. I usually have an outfit on that I'm really loving, and I'm going somewhere that I know I'm gonna have an amazing time. It's also one of the most complimented fragrances on this list. I would say the only one on this list that has more compliments than this one would be Liquid Brun from French Avenue. But overall, there's just not much more that I could ask from this. It is extremely versatile when it comes to cold weather wear. It has pretty good performance as well. In my opinion, the only downside to this one is its price tag. But if for some reason you have not gotten your nose on this one, I highly recommend that you at least go to a store or order a sample of this one and smell it, because it definitely is deserving of all the hype that it has garnered over the years. Once again, from the house of Parfums de Marly, my number one fragrance on this list, this one is going to be Layton. that is going to be it for this top 10 fall list. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of my fragrances on the list, and also let me know what you plan to wear the most this fall season. As always, if you made it this far into the video, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Doing those things goes so far to supporting my channel. And until next time, peace.